And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another edition of the Hard Rocket Sports Show, live from high top Hard Rocket Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 2-hour weekly get-together where we bring you all the biggest news from around the world of hard rock, heavy metal, of course, the wide world of sports. And guys, welcome to Thursday night, April the 24th in the year of our good Lord 2025. And today signifies to me the first day of the NFL season. That's right. NFL is a year-round gig. We understand that. There's 1 month off in the NFL, and that's really June. After the mini camps through start of training camp, the NFL goes dark, and it's it. But to me, free agency kind of ends the old season. The new beginning is tonight, and there are tons of hopefuls in their green room out in Green Bay. Look at that. Green room, Green Bay. And all hoping to get picked in the NFL's draft's first round. Some will be disappointed. Some will be surprised. We'll be here at least for the first 7 picks. We will get through to the Jets if there's time and we have the energy. Maybe we'll stay a little longer. We'll give you our picks. We might be joined by some special guests. I don't know yet. But if not, Jeff and I will be doing our 10th, or I think it's our 9th or 10th version of the NFL draft right here on the show, and we'll bring each pick to you as we see them. So sit back, buckle up. We got an hour before the draft officially starts, and they start booing Roger Goodell, and rightfully so. And we will bring you the picks. And I got a lot to talk to Jeff about, so I'm not going to give you no other speeches other than to say I hope your Easter was great. Our condolences to the family and mourners for Pope Francis. If you're a fan of the woke Pope, I am nothing against the guy, but that's what they were calling him, was the woke Pope. I'm wearing my Detroit Lions hat tonight, so I didn't want to be confused as a homer for the New York Giants, which I am, but I want to stay somewhat impartial. And the Lions do not pick until number 28, I believe. So we'll get this show started. I hope you guys have had a good week. And let me ask Jeff if he had one. So looks like his computer's running and he's ready to go. So I'm going to bring on my partner in crime and my buddy of 40 years, Mr. Jeff Blackest Sabbath Alwinski. What's up, my man?
What's going on?
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here.
How was your week?
All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
How was Easter?
I had to work, and then I had band practice. I don't really, not a big Easter guy.
Everybody is a flutter with the and they want the news. Did you make the Easter pie, and how was it?
I made it, of course, yeah, and it was good, just too big.
Solid.
But
all right.
It went to a friend of mine, so it went to a good home.
All right, then you spread the love. You did your Easterly duties, and we're on to the NFL draft. And Jeff, would you agree with my take that this is kind of signifying the start of the next NFL season, or do you think it's free agency?
I think it's free agency.
Okay.
Me personally, because when the Super Bowl ends.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody waits for everything to happen again, and then you get that lull again in July or June, July.
Yep.
And then it picks up again for August, and then that's when the real deal starts to happen. And we all look forward to it. This is a big night, although this is kind of a lackluster draft.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the buzz is not there. I think the one thing people are obviously fixated on is where does he go? Where is Waldo going to wind up? And that's, of course, Shedeur Sanders, the polarizing, if not gifted quarterback of the Colorado Buffaloes. People have him going as high as number 2, as low as into the second round of the NFL draft. And, I've heard so many, at this point, Jeff, I've kind of gotten away from people's mock drafts. I think every day they come out with some new version. People start adding in trades. But I did catch a bunch of people who had some thoughts on Shedeur and why he dropped. But let's stick with the general part of this for now. What makes the buzz for an NFL draft? Is it certain players? Is it certain positions where they're going. Last year was all about quarterbacks, and we had 6 go in the first 10 picks. What for you as a guy who's a big NFL fan, but maybe not a guy who's in the weeds like Matt or Frank or even myself to a certain extent. To you, what grabs your attention leading up to the draft?
Quarterbacks seem to be the main thing, and without having a real, I don't know, like a knock it out of the park quarterback, in this draft, really, that everybody's like, this guy's going to be great. It kind of makes you wonder. It's kind of lackluster.
Well, again, I think the lack of big names or household names. Now you have them at the top of the draft, and Cam Ward, and even Cam Ward. I bet you most college football fans didn't see Cam Ward play more than a game or two at Miami. I think Travis Hunter obviously was the Heisman Trophy winner. It's a big name. He played at a fairly big school, and of course, there's all the hype around Shedeur, and then. Number 3, but people would say what might be the best player in the draft is Abdul Carter, who most people couldn't pick out of a lineup. Played at Penn State, had a fairly nice career, 23.5 sacks. I think it was 12 sacks last year and 23 tackles for losses. So I think the quantity and the quality is there, but you're right, Jeff. It's the name. It's up to Frank Catalano. I think the names for this draft, and of course, you're right. The quarterback position is not well represented in this draft.
I was listening to The Fan or whatever. I don't know what sports radio station is which now, to be honest with you. I was listening to what was once ESPN. I heard Bart Starr. And, there's a lot of stuff up in the air. Nobody knows what's going to happen and who's going to go where. And people have Shedeur Sanders going to the Giants. I don't think he's going to have to wait till number 20, though, Frank. I think he's going to go at 3 to the Giants if that's the case, if he's going there. I don't think the Giants would take a chance and trade down if that's their guy. And then you hear him going to the Saints. You hear him going to possibly the Raiders, possibly the Steelers, which, by the way, still don't have a real quarterback yet.
Yeah, and Jon Marchewka is not joining us tonight, but I think that's an interesting one because I do believe he slips well. I don't believe the Saints will take him. Okay, I've watched a lot of draft publications and read things, and that's the one spot he could fall. I think he gets past it. I'm going to show you guys my draft board in a minute. And I think his one last landing spot without somebody trading up to get him is the Steelers, and it would make a lot of sense that they need a quarterback. The problem for the Steelers and anybody is. Shedeur Sanders is not ready to play. He's not a great athlete. He needs to be in the right system, and he's not a great quarterback. His skill set as a quarterback is not great, and he's not a great runner. So I think it's a lot of hype, and I think there's a lot of stuff about Shedeur personal, and we'll get to a lot of it. But I think the Giants will trade back up into the first round. And, yeah, you know what, guys? It would not shock me if they traded into I've seen people talk about trading into the Viking spot. I don't know. We'll see.
You got to remember one thing about all of this, okay? And the biggest thing to consider is that all of the teams that are going to worry if they let him drop, or any of these quarterbacks drop, and then they miss out on somebody.
Right.
So they're all going to be with itchy trigger fingers.
Yes.
And they're all going to be thinking, well, like if he made it this far, he's going to make it a little further. We could go another couple picks, because then if we make our move, it's going to cost us less. So, with everybody putting such a premium price on a quarterback, with anybody else that could play a semblance of quarterback in the NFL, they're going to get attention, and they may be considered. Because, Frank Catalano mentions Jackson Dart. Who knows if he's ready? Is he a first-round talent? Who knows? But I guarantee you somebody will overpick him, and that's what happens with quarterbacks, I feel.
Yeah, and this for everybody, so everybody knows, this is my draft board. I only put up the first 10 picks to make life a little easier on myself. I don't expect to get much past that. I do have the board. I went through all the needs for every team. I threw a couple. I have Shador going to the Steelers. I think it's the most logical place for him. I don't know what else, but I got my picks and we'll follow them along the way. I have my top 5 running backs, my top 5 quarterbacks, my top 5 wide receivers. Didn't do tight ends, but I got a bunch of other ones done. But this is my draft board, and we'll get through a lot of this tonight and see how I do. And I think so. Let's stop talking about Shador. Let's talk about the draft a little bit, Jeff. Here, and I want to get to both teams. But I think that unless there are trades, Bears are trying to trade up for Gentry. Yeah, again, I don't take into account trades, Jeff, because you can never figure what's going to happen. There's a lot of teams. The Giants could trade down. Teams could trade up. The Browns are in a bad spot here, don't you think? So the top 3 picks should be Ward, Hunter, and Carter. Just depends which order they go in.
Well, listen, none of these guys are none of them are really like everybody's not hell-bent on grabbing one of these guys.
Yes.
Not a quarterback. There's not much going on. If you could put your draft order back up real quick.
Sure can.
If you don't mind.
Nope,
and we can look real quick. I wish I knew how to do this stuff with a computer. I'm having trouble turning mine on as of late. Okay. If you look right there, the first Titans, they're going to go after a quarterback.
Right.
Browns are iffy. The Giants are iffy. But I've heard a lot of talk this week that the Giants have been looking into a quarterback, so you don't know. But after the Giants, the Patriots have one, the Jaguars have one. Are the Raiders going to go after a quarterback? I don't know. The Jets, I don't know. But the Panthers have one. The Saints, if Sanders doesn't go 3 or 9, I think he'll be there till 21 and go to the Steelers.
Yeah, I think what people on this draft, and there's some deep positions. Running back is a deep position in this draft. Quarterback is not. And I question Cam Ward, to be honest with you. I don't think he's a franchise level right away save your franchise quarterback. And I don't think any of them are. Now again, somebody brought it up, and I totally agree. It all depends on what system you fall into, the team around you. You could fall into the right position and be Brock Purdy. You could fall into the position and you could be Justin Fields, where you went to a bad team with a bad system and it never worked out for you. So, it's all the luck of the draw. In this draft, the quarterback position to me is something where you don't want to hang your hat. So,
no, definitely not.
So
definitely
to me,
you want to know something because of the past.
Yeah,
where other people have let talent slide.
Sure.
And they've been doing it for over 40 years. Just ask the Jets on multiple occasions, some of the people that they let slip past them.
Yeah.
That now there's going to be teams that are going to be ready to shoot at a moment's notice. That any quarterback right now, I wouldn't say doesn't have a chance of being picked in the top 3 or top 5. Until the pick is made, I wouldn't discount any one of these guys getting picked.
Frank, I tell you the truth, I have the Broncos taking a tight end. I think that's a big need for them. I think if either the kid from Michigan, whose name escapes me at the moment, or Ty Warren fall down that far, but it's going to depend. See, after you get to 10, 11, 12, then it's who got picked where they weren't supposed to, who dropped. So I expect them to go either tight end, here's my Broncos, linebacker, which I think in the first round may be a stretch, or they may go running back. I think there's a good chance that they could take one of the backs in this draft, and you could go Gentry, Henderson at Ohio State, Hampton at North Carolina, Caleb Johnson. There's some good backs. They may not be first rounders, but if you like them, I personally think that the Broncos are going to go tight end in that spot. But let's see if again, I think the Jets have a huge need for a wide receiver and a tight end. Also offensive line help. I have them taking an offensive lineman in the first round.
If I'm the Jets, man, they got to go offensive line. I hope they go offensive line.
There's a couple of really good ones at the top of this draft. They should both, I think, at least one, if not both. I have a question of whether the Patriots. I have the Patriots taking Will Campbell. I think the Jets take him Membu at that spot. There's still other ones. I think it's Kelvin Banks. There's a few good ones. So it's a good draft.
Keep it going. I had White Castle for lunch, and the sideshow is about to begin.
Go ahead, do what you got to do. So, yeah, I believe the top of this draft is pretty set. I don't see the Titans doing anything but Cam Ward. I think the big key right now is number 2. What do the Browns do? And I think the Browns and the Giants are very leery right now. See, the Browns got burnt not only by drafting quarterbacks, but obviously trading for one in Deshaun Watson. So they, unless they are completely in love with Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart, which I don't think anybody at that top, you can't take a quarterback. And the Giants have the same problem. They need a franchise quarterback, but nobody's guaranteeing that any of these guys are franchise quarterbacks. So the Giants, much like the Browns, will go with a almost guaranteed player. And Carter is got a great motor. He will make the Giants better. He will make that position even deeper. And it gives them the ability, if they want, to either A, trade Thibodeau, or B, line him up with, like they did the old days with Strahan, Umanura, Justin Tuck, later with JPP, and come at you with the defensive line to put pressure on you. So I think that's the safest pick. Now, Carter could go 2, and I think the Giants would jump all over Travis Hunter. So, I think a lot of it depends. I don't see anybody gambling at the top of this draft until you get to the Raiders. The Raiders could go quarterback here. I don't feel it. I think you have a huge need at running back, and I think Gentry may be one of the best players in this draft, if not the best athlete in this draft. The kid is a phenomenal running back. He's solid, and I think he'll have a great career. And I think that, again, the top of this draft is going to be safe picks. The Patriots cannot afford, with a new head coach, they are going to fix that offensive line and give their quarterback Drake May as much up as they can. To Frankie, if you can pull off a trade up to that far to get him, that would be a huge pickup for them. And I don't think it's impossible. The running back position is very deep in this draft. So I think while Gentry is far away, he's 1, 2A and 3A, 2A and 2B and all that are pretty good backs. So, I think the Giants proved it last year with Tyrone Tracy, getting him in the 5th round, and he rushed for 800 yards as a rookie, and he was a solid player. And I think he'll be even better this year. So I would tell you, if I were the Broncos and I was going to trade up that high to get that player, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. But I think at 20, you could still get a good solid player, and then in the 2nd round, maybe trade up there and get one of the bigger backs. And I do think the Giants will take a quarterback with their 2nd pick. Question is going to be, are they going to trade up to get him, or are they going to sit tight? Because I think Dart and the kid Shaw fit their system better. Again, I didn't watch Shaw play. I watched a lot of video and a lot of the experts, and I think it's a matter of he fits their schemes and systems better. I like Quinn Ewers as the Texas quarterback, as a leader, but a lot of bad decisions and a lot of late decisions. So I would not draft him if I were the Giants. But the Giants will take a quarterback with their 2nd pick, whether it's they trade up, Jeff, to the 1st round, or if they stay where they're at. I think they're going to take a quarterback, if it's Dart or if it's Shaw, and it could be Jalen Milroe. Milroe, the Alabama quarterback. People are impressed. He's a great runner, fantastic athlete, got a great arm, but he's not a great passer. And he's a guy who needs to be on the bench for at least a year, if not 2. And then you have a chance to make him into something that might work. So, it's up. He is moving up, Frankie. And the thing about him is, first off, I have to be fair. I think Alabama quarterbacks are the same as the Ohio State quarterbacks. Ohio State quarterbacks never do well in this league. They just don't. They're a one and done. They throw to a particular receiver. They're not great quarterbacks, and the Alabama quarterbacks have been the same. So Milroe needs a lot of work. If you can draft him and stash him on your bench for a year, maybe two, I think you have a chance at making him into a good quarterback, Jeff. So, Jeff, let's talk a little bit about the Jets. I've been doing a lot of Giant talk. So I have the Jets taking an offensive tackle. They have the kid from Penn State, Fasanu, on the left side. So to me, you get yourself a nice right tackle in this draft, and you've got bookends for the next 10 years.
You would like to think, but, this is the Jets, so anything could happen. And, listen, just like, once again, here we are talking about the Jets and new coach, new general manager, and then they're resetting the clock and starting from zero again, it seems. They have a few pieces, not nearly enough to get going. But, listen, hopefully whatever they do, they've been doing their homework and they hit for something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they could go McMillan from Arizona as the wide receiver. He's a big body.
There's a lot that they could do. They could go. Frank is right. That tight end from Penn State. They've been linked to the tackle or whatever he was, defensive tackle from I think Michigan.
Yep. Johnson. Yep.
It was a couple of players.
Yeah. So I mean, the Jets are in a decent spot because. Listen, I think if you're the Jets, you wouldn't mind picking up a quarterback in this draft, but I think it's window dressing if you really think about it. They signed Justin Fields for a couple of years. You're not going to. This is not a great draft for quarterbacks. I think next year is a much better draft for quarterbacks. Right now, it could change obviously with next year's play, but right now the Jets need to fill holes. They need a wide receiver. They definitely need a tight end. They can use some help on the defensive line. They could definitely use some. There's all sorts of rumors I heard today, Jeff, that Breece Hall is on the block.
I hope not.
It was a big thing today on a lot of the sites that the Jets have him up there. I guess maybe a package in the draft, where a team like maybe the Broncos, who need a running back, could trade for a Breece Hall and give up maybe a first or a second round pick for him, maybe both. They're
not going to get a first-round pick for Breece Hall. The guy's never cracked 1,000 yards. He's been injured 2 of the 3 seasons he's been in the league, and he fell short again of 1,000 yards just the season that just passed. He's never once shown that he could carry the team. His yards per carry, I believe, gone down a little bit each year since he's been in the league.
Well, if you're the Jets, this is, I think, a smart move, okay? You have the other kid. Maybe you come out of this draft. It's a deep draft, maybe second, third round. You grab another running back. You trade Breece Hall. You get some draft picks, and you bring some extra bodies in. The Jets are hurting in the salary cap spot, so they could, they have a little bit of a glut at running back now with 2 good backs. And you're right. And they're not going to pay him next year. There's just no way in the world they're going to be able to pay Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, and eventually a quarterback and have them all on the same team. It's just not going to happen. So I understand your point that you hope they don't, but I understand from a strength standpoint, that is something I think they need to do or consider. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying I think a team like the Broncos, perfect example, who are willing to trade all the way up to try to get a shot at Genti, which would be they'd have to give up a lot more draft capital, where you would get a guy who, if he stays healthy, can probably get you 1,200 yards in a season. Now, has he stayed healthy? He hasn't to date, as per your.
No, he hasn't. But listen, I like Breece Hall. I think he's a good back. I think he's an exciting back, and I would just like to see the Jets maybe consider building around him and stuff. Not necessarily around him, but consider him and build what they got. Try to help what they got, man. Start at the trenches.
Well, I agree, and see, to me, I think that's what made the Justin Fields signing smart for the Jets, because one, Fields not a great passer. Let's all be honest. He's an average at best passer of the football, but he's a hell of a runner with the football. So if you can put him in a spot where your backs are the focal point, you run some RPOs with him, given the opportunity to run or pass, and then put him in a position when he could pass when he doesn't have to. I think that makes the total sense. So I think building that team the way you just talked about, as a run first or run heavy team, that's why I went with them getting the offensive tackle in this draft. I think
definitely. Well, they need it. They need one.
And I think
you got Justin Fields. He's going to fail if you don't stack the line. You have to. Yeah, you just must. Yeah. He's a running quarterback as it is. Okay, you got him. You're spending $30 million on him. Try to get something out of him.
Yep. So
I want to see if you can make him work for you.
Yep. So we're about a half hour, about 32 minutes from the start of the NFL draft. It's on behind me. I'm going to rely maybe a little bit more on Jeff to call out the picks this year. I'm always seem to be a little behind. So when the draft comes, Jeff will kind of keep us updated. I'm sure Frankie will, and anybody else out there watching. I don't know if anybody else will be joining us. I've invited a couple of the people to be part of our telecast. In the meantime, we were talking about the Steelers, Jeff, and I think that's the most interesting spot for a guy like Shedeur Sanders, because if he does slip by that, he would then have to rely on somebody trading up into the second round to get him. Now, let me ask you this question, Jeff. Let's say he slides by the Steelers for some reason. And the Steelers, Jeff, can the Steelers go into the season with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback?
God, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that if John, I sometimes I think that's why he didn't come on.
Yeah,
I think he's afraid to see what's going to happen. I really do.
Yeah, so to me, they've also been burned. They've been burned by Kenny Pickett. Then they make the trade for Russell Wilson. They do all of these things, and none of it's worked out. They didn't know which one they want to sign, Russell Wilson, or maybe we want to sign Justin Fields, and they lost both. So they're waiting on.
It was Mason Rudolph, not the other Kenny Pickett. He got traded.
Yes, tried. I'm sorry. Kenny Pickett is now with
where is Kenny Pickett? Indianapolis or something?
Yeah, no, he's in. He was backing up. No, he's in Cleveland. He's in Cleveland now. I'm sorry, he's in Cleveland. You're 100% right. So right now they're going into the season with Mason Rudolph as their quarterback. So I don't think you can go into the season with Mason Rudolph. I don't care what smokescreen they put out there. So the question becomes, do they take Dart? Do they take Sanders? And if Sanders falls past 20, it is a good chance he goes into the second round. Now it gets into.
I would say that it's almost definite he goes into the second round.
People could trade at that point, may think of trading up to him. Now, I don't know who's high on him. The big thing for me is, he was not invited to the NFL draft. He was not invited to be in the green room for I'm going to guess that they thought, or maybe he thought, that there's a really good chance that he would not get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft.
No, something happened there. That there's a reason why they didn't ask him, or he didn't show up, or whatever. However that works. Are they asked, or do they just show up?
No, they have to be invited. They have to be invited. Yeah, they have to be invited. I don't know if you can request to be invited, but if you're a guy that's people are projecting to be in the 19th round of a 7-round draft, you're not getting invited to the green room. There's not that many people there, but they invite people that they believe are going to be there, so that way in the first round they could come out and get their jersey and their hat live on the air. So, yeah.
Listen, you know what? Time will tell.
Yeah,
and we're going to find out. It's like you said, we're 28 minutes away from the start of the draft. So, within no time, it'll start to unfold.
Matt's a dick. Once a dick, always a dick, Matt. That's all. That's all I can
tell you. Scott Bruner, that was a big pick in Giants history. I remember that. I think he played like 3 games.
He played 1 season or better with the Giants. But listen, the Giants are going to take the safe pick, and I'm all for it. And then I think it gets interesting late in the first round or in the middle of 22, anywhere from the Vikings back. The Giants could trade in and try to get a quarterback if Dart's still available. If they like Shao, I don't know the answer to that. But the Giants, I believe, with their second pick, will take a quarterback if one of those two are there. I think a lot of teams, Jeff, are just afraid of Sanders and the baggage. You bring him in, and then basically his father is a Zoom coach at that point.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I agree with you. I wouldn't want that. But you want to know something? Think about what's going to happen if he doesn't get picked. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure. No, listen, you're going to hear it for weeks. It'll be the big thing.
My God, yeah, it's going to be a big thing, man.
Oh my God! Every training camp, whatever team he winds up in, he'll get drafted. Somebody will take a shot at him, whether it's second or third round. And again, he could still go in the first round. I believe the Steelers have to try to get a quarterback at that pick. Question's going to be who's there. I would believe Dart, him, Shao, they'll all be there for the Steelers. And I believe they need to come out of there with a quarterback because they can't go into the season with Mason Rudolph. Now, there's a good chance that Aaron Rodgers signs there if he's going to play. I don't think he has any other options. I don't know what he's waiting on at this point. But, and Matt, who do I prefer? If you told me that Hunter was coming to the Giants to play wide receiver, I would probably want Hunter because I think he's a great receiver or a really good receiver. I think he's a good corner. I don't believe corner is as big a need, and what I don't want is the controversy of, I want to play both ways. The Giants, nobody's playing both ways in the NFL anymore. It's just not happening. It's too fast, too big a league. There's too many meetings. You can't attend in both. You can never be. If you told me he was a corner with a small package of offensive plays, okay. I think legitimately he's the better player or the more guaranteed impact player. Guys like Abdul Carter have a tendency to come into the league and then disappear. Although I like Carter better.
There were questions about his health.
Yeah.
Early on in the process of the draft, leading up to the draft.
Yeah.
I ate White Castle today. This was a bad, definitely offensive line, Matt.
Yeah.
I feel as though the defensive line, as much as they need defensive line help, the Jets, I think that the offensive line with Justin Fields would be better for them. They would help them and give them a chance to build. Nobody knows what Justin Fields is yet, and they have him. I mean, we know what he is, but is there any chance for him? The only way you're going to find out is if you put the right people there, and an offensive line, I think, would be the best pick for them.
I would agree with Jeff, and I think with the talent up there, I think solidifying the right tackle spot. Matt, what do you? I like Membu. Matt, take a look at my Matt. Take a look at my.
That's what I like it too.
Yeah, Matt, take a look at my my top 10 draft board. Let me know what you think. I'm curious. You're a draft guru.
Well, you know what? He's going to be there for the next 2 years. What says that he's not a long-term answer? He's still young. If they put him in a system and the system works with him and they get the right people around him, I'm sure that he could be a better quarterback than he is now. Is he going to make it into the NFL Hall of Fame? Probably not. But you know what? He can't be any worse than some of the other winners the Jets have had in the last 10 years.
Hard Rockin' Sports, Jeff and Tom creeping up on the NFL start of the NFL draft, about 24 minutes away. Matt, what I think is, I agree with you, Matt. You can't, but I would also say if you're gonna go with Fields for at least this year, maybe into next year, like I told Jeff before, you build the offensive line and you make this you highlight the running game with the two backs you have, and you run the RPOs with Fields and give him some leverage, some latitude of throwing the ball when he has, not when he has to, when he wants to, not when he has to. And
listen, you can't go wrong boosting up the offensive line regardless, whether he stays there long term or not. It's still, you got to anchor it down, and you have to do it.
Yep. So we'll see. Again, I think I've changed my mind a couple times on it. The Jets could go wide receiver. They definitely need somebody opposite of Garrett Wilson. They definitely need a tight end. I would not mind them seeing either of the two big tight ends. But I think if you're built the way they are right now, I don't feel the tight end is going to be a big factor in their passing game. I don't think their passing game is going to be a big factor. I would give me the best offensive line possible out there. I think they got some good guys. If Veritucka stays healthy, Fasanu, Tippmann in the middle. You get a guy, you get a top player at right tackle. I think the Jets could be a good offensive line next year. Run the football with the two backs and RPOs with Justin Fields, and hopefully the defense gets better than it was last year. It has to.
For the Jets?
Too many injuries did not work out the common day, so I would not want to draft him as high as the rest of your picks. I think Saints are going to really think about taking quarterback. I think Warren is a fantastic talent to be interesting where he lands. I have Warren going to the Saints because I think the Saints, like everybody else, are leery of the quarterbacks in this draft. I think
because what happens if Carr is out long term?
He is out. I think he's out for the season.
No, that really.
I believe
I heard he wasn't out for the season.
Yeah, I know he's out for a while. I thought it was for the year, but I know they've lost Carr for a long term. So you're right. But again, is Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart or any of them ready to jump in this year and play quarterback? I don't think any of them are.
Probably not, but you know what? It'll be better than not having anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, Matt, you could be right. I mean, I think Travis Etienne has not lived up to the billing. I think they could use a running back in that spot. I just think they have a bigger need in the secondary. I agree with you on Johnson. That might be too high, but I just have this feeling that he's going to go early. Let's see. He's going. Yeah. So yeah, Derek Carr's out for the season. So I thought that's what I read. Yeah. So
last time I read it, they didn't say that he was out.
I think there's definitely a need for the Saints.
What do they do for a quarterback? Well, they could go after Rodgers too.
They go after, yeah. So again, there is some I don't know who their backup is at this point, but again, here's the question: are any of these quarterbacks, and that includes Cam Ward for me? I think.
Keep it going, man. I may have to duck in and out, man.
No problem. So I think the problem is there's a need for quarterbacks. Obviously, the Giants have a need. The Browns have a need. The Saints have a need for quarterbacks. The Raiders have a need. But are any of these guys going to make you better right away? The answer is probably no. Again, all right. And then after that, so can you pick them in this first round and have them fail? No. I think especially if you're the Browns and the Giants. The Browns and Giants have to come out of this draft in their first picks with no doubt contributors. No doubt. Those two teams have to have no doubt contributors. One, to save the Giants coaching staff, and Cleveland's been a laughingstock. So, that's not going to happen. So at that point, oh yeah, okay. So is that Spencer Rattler? Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Yeah, again, if I was the Saints, I would trade back and grab a quarterback later in the draft. Because you can get Dart at any point, I think, in this draft before the Steelers. The Steelers are the one team that needs a quarterback that I think might take a shot at a Dart or Sanders at that spot. So if you're the Saints and you want to trade back a few spots and pick up an extra pick or two and then grab your quarterback, listen, if you like Dart at 20 and you like Dart at 12, then you take him. Who gives a crap? Or Sanders for that moment. I think there's a good chance Sanders falls into the second round. I have to be honest with you. I think I read more than one place about his interviews were terrible. We all know the baggage. Let's be honest. He's not the fastest runner. He's not a great athlete. He spends way too much, takes way too many sacks. Okay. There's not a lot to like about the guy. You can't call him a winner. Was he one game over 500? Yes, they turned a bad franchise around. But think about it, guys. They brought half the team over from Jackson State. It wasn't like Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Deion showed up and made 49 other guys better. It's not what happened. They brought half the team from Jackson State, and they got better. They played together for 4 years, some of those guys. I'm not the biggest Shedeur Sanders fan. Do I think he can be successful? Sure, he could probably be successful. He could probably be a Jalen Hurts type of quarterback in this league. But he's not fast. His arm is not great. He doesn't play well with his teammates. He throws his teammates under the bus. There's just too many negatives. And then there's the specter of the Zoom coach, Deion Sanders. After practice, the coach is going to go on, oh, Deion said that you didn't use his son the right way. Deion would have said he would have called this play. And if you don't think that'll happen, it will. It will absolutely happen. And it will be forever the rumor when the coach gets in trouble that Deion's going to come up and coach his son at that level. And you're not going to nobody's going to change my mind on that one. I don't understand why I know he's taking like the kid. I don't know about him. You know what, Matt? I had some questions on that kid Howard, but again, Shao is a guy that some people like. Howard's a guy some people like. Um, I think anybody you take in this draft as a quarterback is a project. If you can park them for a year or two and let them watch, carry the clipboard, play scout quarterback, and give them a chance to acclimate, I think any of these guys can be decent NFL prospects. But I don't believe any of these guys can step in right now. Now, I was wrong about Bo Nix. I never thought Bo Nix would have the season he had. Matt was on it. Frankie was on it. So I missed on that one. So it happens.
We will see, man. We will see
what
happens.
Yeah. So we'll play by ear, but there's a chance he slides. I still don't understand the whole Aaron Rodgers thing at this point, Jeff. I don't know what he's waiting on. Some people say there's some health issues in his family, but if you're the Steelers, I mean, let's put it this way: do the Steelers have any other options at this point other than him?
Who? I don't know what other free agent quarterbacks there are.
No, I don't think there's anybody of note. I mean, Joe Flacco just got picked up. So
yeah, I mean, anybody like that you're going to hang your hat on for the year. There really wasn't that much going into the off season anyway.
Yeah.
They're killing me too, Frank. They're killing me too. You think I would learn my lesson? I just had them not too long ago. I was in the area of White Castle. I was like, you know what? Let me get White Castle. Next thing you know, forget it.
So again, we're about 16 minutes away. I think the draft can pivot right at 2 because the Browns could easily trade down. See, the Browns are in a bad spot because they desperately need a quarterback, but they can't draft one because they're so afraid of making another mistake. I think there's the chance they'll take the easy way out. They'll probably take Travis Hunter. The Giants will take Carter, and then it gets interesting. What do the Patriots do? I think it's offensive line for the Patriots. Then it's the Jaguars, and then I think it gets into a kind of a routine. I don't expect a lot of trades. There's some rumors of the Bears trading out of their spot. We'll see. But we'll get there.
By the way, I saw a picture of that kid Genty.
Yeah.
My God, he looks like a Black Hulk.
Yeah,
holy shit.
If you ask me who the best player in this draft is, he might be it. I think he's got the best chance of being a great player of this draft. Travis Hunter's got all the ability. I think the problem for him is going to be ego, where he shows up. Going to Cleveland, is he in the lead or the lost? I mean, that could be the problem.
You know what, dude? You got to figure the way the NFL is. What's the worst they could do? What could they franchise him only twice? So,
yeah.
He plays out his contract. He's still young. He could still get out of there.
Yeah, but you're talking about being out of there 6 or 7 years into your career. Now now you're close to 30.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but it's still you got to get in the league and that's that.
No, I agree with Matt. I see. That's why I keep saying running back in this. I think running back, wide receiver. I made some notes, so let me give it to you. So I think running back, wide receiver, offensive tackle, interior lineman, defensive lineman, I think are very deep in this draft, and you can get guys later in the draft. I think quarterback is below average. I also think the tight end's a good one. The interior of the offensive line, I don't think is great. Guards, centers is not a good one in this draft. Tackles. So, I think you could find a really good running back later in the draft. There are a couple guys. I mean, Trayvon Henderson, DJ Giddens, Coleman, Ali Gordon. There's some guys in the second, third round could help you. So, yeah, deep at the tackle is I think edge is deep. Again, the one position, I think interior offensive line. I think the quarterback there aren't much in the pickings, and I think you got to be careful in this draft. If you're picking a quarterback early in this draft, you really better be sure, because I think unless you're a team with a solid veteran and you're putting a guy on the bench, kind of like the Packers did.
Tom,
with Love.
I understand, but how many teams actually have that luxury?
No, they don't. They don't. You're right.
And especially to spend on a top pick, first, second round, third round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I know that there's nothing as a guarantee in the NFL. We all know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody going into the NFL is a guarantee.
Yeah.
But I think that when you go to certain positions, quarterback being the main one, once you get out of the first, second round, it's probably even, less. The odds are even more against them.
Yeah.
Of doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think that the running back position, you can get one certainly late in the first round. And then I think into the second, third round, there are going to be guys there that you can. And again, I'll use Tyrone Tracy from the Giants. The kid ran for 800 yards last year. He was good out of the backfield. And they got him in the fifth round. So I think this draft particularly, you can get one a little later. I think you got to, if you're a team and you have needs at certain positions, you better get one early before they go out. Before they got there, there are a few, but there aren't a lot at certain positions. I think wide receivers got some guys that you can grab later on in the draft. So offensive tackle, like I said, interior offensive line, I wouldn't. Edge, no. Let me see. I think corner and safety are. Cornerback is great. Safety, there's some really deep positions in this draft. Quarterback's not one. Interior offensive line is not one that you can worry about. And I think, and again, for the Jets, Jeff, I think it's the easy play would be the offensive tackle. For the Giants, it's Carter or Hunter. And then it plays from there. I don't want to get to trades and possibilities. So I did that stuff will play out as it goes. So we're about 10 minutes out. Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom will go through the picks. We'll get you to at least 7. We'll absolutely do that. Next week we'll come back and we'll analyze the entire first round. Frankie, we'll pick on your team. Matt, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do? I did not. I had some weird rumors about them taking Sanders at 12, which I couldn't imagine them doing. I think they're another team that needs offensive line help. With Martin retiring, I think the Cowboys go offensive line. It could go, I guess, receiver. What do you think, Matt? What do you think your Cowboys go? Let's see what Matt thinks.
Well, they just got Prescott, right? Didn't they just get rid of another quarterback? They traded a quarterback.
Well, they just traded for.
I'm not sure he was a free agent.
Then they just grabbed Joe Milton.
That was who? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Milton from the Patriots, which again I didn't understand that Joe Milton couldn't beat out Drake May, and May was up and down last year. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one for me, but. There's going to be an interesting draft. I don't. Again, the buzz, the excitement's probably not there. I want to take a wide receiver. I don't care if it's Tack McMillan or my boy from Texas. McMillan's an interesting one. It's a big target. Your guy from Texas, what's his name? Golden, Matthew Golden, is a flyer. 4.2, I think 4.29 in the 40, if I remember my notes correctly. Corners. Let me look up Matthew Golden. Let's see. Running backs, linemen, corners, safeties. I can't find my receiver page. Corners. I don't know what I did with my receiver page. I'll find it. Oh, I got it. So McMillan, Matthew Golden here, 5'11", little short for today's receivers.
A lot of people like those little receivers, though, man. They're not, being cast aside. A lot of people are taking them.
Yeah, they got quarterback from the Patriots who's very good. Who I believe can take over for Prescott. Joe, but Matt, I don't know enough about Milton. I don't think. I would believe they'll try to grab a quarterback in this draft. Maybe second or third round if somebody's falling around down there. I would be shocked if they took one with that early pick. I agree with you. I think it's receiver for me. if I was picking for them, and it would probably be the kid from Arizona, McMillan. I think he's a big target. He still flies. Yeah, he makes, he will make those 50-50 balls his own. So I think he's great on the other side of CeeDee Lamb, and I think he'll open things up for Prescott, who I will think will be their quarterback. So, but Golden's an exit route runner with very good hands. I believe he's more well-rounded than McMillan. He is. I just think he's a little small for the outside. He's only 5'11", which means he's probably 5'10", but he flies. So I would love to see him in the slot, probably more than out on the edge. But he could definitely move, and I think he'll do it. He'd be a good pick. Either way, I think the Cowboys take it, and that division gets better and better. Jeff, I mean, obviously you got the two teams that were in the NFC Championship game, and the Eagles and the Redskins are still probably the cream of the crop. Cowboys need to get better, and the Giants are going to be the also-rans at least for another year.
Yeah, well, listen, if Shane and Dable don't hit on a couple picks this year, is that it for them? What do you think?
Well, I think what saved them was last year's draft. They had a really good draft with Tracy, who I've been playing up, Nubin, the corner. The Giants had a really good draft, and I think that's kind of what saved Shane's job, and I think they were a package. Yes, I agree. I think the Giants don't need to go to the playoffs. They have to be more competitive. I think they will be. I don't love the quarterback room, but I think the quarterback room will at least make them competitive. You can't go into another season with Drew Lock as your quarterback. So to me, it makes them competitive. And yeah, I think they're going to bolster the defense with this pick, and they'll go in to try to win some more games. I won't put a number on it. They just have to be more competitive. It can't be 8 straight losses. It just can't.
I hear you. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but you can't put a number on it. But they got to show overall improvement without a doubt. If you're getting solid overall improvement.
Yeah, I mean, if you win 5 games, but you lost, a handful of them by a touchdown or a last-second field goal, and you were in most of your games, you say, okay, we're getting better. But if you go out there and you win a game, then you lose 4 straight, then you win a game and you lose 6 straight, then you win a game and you blow out the rest of the season, their season's over. So they have to not only win a few games, but they need to be competitive through the season to at least have another season and get to, I think, the better quarterback class next year. So I think that's where the Giants are headed. Will get there? I don't know. What are you expecting from first-year head coach Aaron Glenn? Are you expecting him to bring kind of the same philosophy, if you think, from Detroit? And he's got 2 backs like Detroit has. They emphasized they played really good defense over there last year. Last few years with him as the defensive coordinator. Do you expect the Jets to try to be the same type of team? Maybe run? Obviously they don't have the passer and Goff that the Lions have, but do you expect them to have that kind of same philosophies?
You like to think that maybe they would think about that. I mean, he came from a model team. You don't hear much in the way of issues and problems over there in Detroit. You're right. They have 2 young running backs. They have a couple receivers. All right, so maybe, they're getting Justin Fields in there. Mm-hmm. All right, it's a stretch to say that he's, going to do anything major this year. But let's see what happens. Just because he was on Detroit and helped build it doesn't mean that he's going to be as successful in doing that with the Jets. I hope he is.
Well, the one thing I would say is I hope he's a better X's and O's coach than Campbell. I think Campbell's philosophy on going for it on 4th down, not playing situational football, X's and O's, it was a weakness, cost him a Super Bowl appearance 2 years ago, and probably hurt them this year a little bit more. So I would hope that Aaron Glenn learned from that and be aggressive, but not stupid. See you, Matt. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the draft.
Listen, we don't know. We're going to see exactly what role he played in Detroit.
Yeah,
And,
very good point.
He's a defensive coach.
Yep.
So you're going to think that he's a defensive-minded coach. Hopefully, he has enough offensive-minded people behind him to help him run the offense. And I would be nice to see him get involved with all aspects of the game. And, the last couple of Jets coaches, I don't even know if they thought, if they knew what a quarterback was.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see, Jeff. Let me take a look at my draft board. Do me a favor. Give me the best spot here where you think a team will trade out of this first round if it happened. If somebody was going to trade out of the first round, who would it be?
I'm going to have to say either the Giants or the Browns. I could see maybe the Patriots trading back, the Jets trading back, maybe.
Yeah, I think to your point, and that's where I was headed with this, I think this is a draft where you could see a lot of these teams trading out because there's so much depth along this draft that I do believe that a lot of these teams could trade back out to get a similar type player. If you're the Patriots and you want an offensive tackle, there's plenty of them. There's at least 4 or 5 that could be easily top 10 picks. You could trade out and grab one. If you're a team, maybe like the Browns who need a wide receiver, you could trade down in this draft and come out of it with one of the top 3 or 4. If you're the Jaguars who need a running back, you could trade back and get one of those guys and maybe reach a little bit, but pick up a little strength along the way. So they're a definite. This is a draft where we could see multiple teams trading out, or could be the most boring draft in the whole world, and nobody bails out on it.
Well, we will see.
Yeah, so we're going to see. It should be starting right now.
Yeah, I was just going to ask because
it's 8 o'clock.
I have ESPN up on the computer.
Okay.
But the TV is over there, and with my back turned to it, I can't really see.
Yeah.
But they didn't say anything. They just say that the Titans are on the clock, and evidently that has not changed. It is just 8 o'clock now.
Yep. They're running the NFL package right now. They're showing highlights of Bart Starr, and they're getting ready to start this thing off. And we by 9 o'clock we should get pretty much through our top 5 or 6, and then we'll hang in there and see. We'll catch the Jets, and then we'll see what our teams look like after round 1. Again, we could see our teams trade back up. I could see the Giants trading back up into the first round to grab a quarterback. I could see them trading down. It's going to be interesting. Again, not a lot of intrigue other than Shedeur Sanders. I think that's probably the one thing. And the one good thing, Travis looks like a mush mouth from Fat. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. Part of my reasoning for wanting Carter is that he just looks like a better person than Travis Hunter. And I have a real problem with Deion Sanders and the way he, did you read that his son and Travis Hunter are having their jersey numbers retired 3 months after the season ended? Colorado. Now there has been great players who've played for them. It took 25 and 30 years to get their numbers retired. And these guys who were one game over 500 in their Colorado career got their jersey numbers retired.
Yeah, well, you know what, Tom? That's a different story now, a different situation. You have 2 guys that are jockeying to be in the top of the NFL draft. Nobody knows who's going where as of yet until the pick is made.
Yeah.
So, when was the last time 2 teammates were jockeying for position? Shedeur Sanders and his father think that he's going to go near the top of the draft every other day. Good thing the draft is tonight because his stock has been dropping.
Oh, I mean, again,
he's fucking elevator.
He wasn't even invited to the first. Now, it doesn't mean he's not going to get picked in the first round. He for whatever reason he wasn't invited. And Frankie, you're right, but they weren't great enough that it warranted immediately after the season was over to retire their jersey. And Shedeur Sanders should never happen. He didn't even, at least Travis Hunter won the Heisman. You can at least say he won the Heisman Trophy and give him his honor. But it's, to me, it's another reason why I can't stand Deion Sanders. It's just another reason. He's full of shit. And I think he's an overrated coach. And it's all about the image. And his son, for everything I've read, was a terrible interview. He did not do well, and I think that's why his stock has been plummeting. And I think if his name wasn't Sanders, he would be in the category of the rest of the guys where you say, well, maybe at the end of the first round, possibly second round, somebody will take a shot because his name is Sanders.
Dude, he is. Nobody's saying that he's
no. I've heard
top 10 pick.
I've heard today alone. What's the guy who's always on ESPN? I can't think of his name. He's for sure he's going to the Giants at number 3. And I'm like, there's no way in the world the Giants. Now, again, I will say this right off the bat. No matter who the Giants pick in this draft, number 1, number 2, number 3, I will root for them because they wear my team's jersey. I will not be happy if it's Shedeur Sanders. If the Giants draft him and he's their starting quarterback this year, next year, the year after, when he throws the ball, I will root as hard for him as I root for any Giant player because that's how I am. But I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ on Holy Sunday that he would not ever be mentioned as a Giant quarterback in my lifetime. Because first of all, I don't think he's any good. Second of all, he brings the circus. So I want to be very clear on that. But I just think that's the type of baggage, Jeff, talking about jersey to retire. I mean, the guy was barely a 500 quarterback, and you retired his jersey. It just doesn't make any sense. The commissioner's on the stage.
But you know what, Tom? In today's day and age,
no,
you're trying to make a brand for yourself. So he ain't going to turn around and say, I don't deserve it.
No, I agree with you 100%. And of course,
haven't run it down yet.
It just says just has the. I don't believe so yet. The commissioner's out there giving his speech. There's a bunch of people on the stage with him, and he's about to say the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. And I hate the fact that they make them wait 8-9 minutes to make the pick. It's the most ridiculous thing in the whole world because everybody knows. Unless they're about to get 25 calls, which I'm sure they've already gotten them, for a trade package, everybody knows who the Tennessee Titans are taking. So we'll see, how it works out. But I just think this is the most ridiculous. Lil Wayne is on stage. That's who that is. Lil Wayne's on stage. So I got my picks up. I got Cam Ward going. I'm going to see how well I do in my top 10 picks. A couple years ago, I was 6 out of 7 on my first 7 picks, and then I went 0 for 3, so I didn't end so good in the first round.
Yeah, I remember that year, but that year was bogus because those picks were locked in, man. All he did was
no such thing. But again, I think that's a lot of this draft too. I think position wise, it's pretty simple. It's the matter of the player, and because their positions are so deep, that it's kind of hard to pick which guy they're going to take or who they like because I'm not obviously in the draft room. But we're about to kick it off. I apologize for giving you my why is everybody on bicycles? What's with the bicycles?
Maybe they're going to bring the pick in on a bike.
I don't know. I got to tell you, Frank Jeffrey and I have been talking about it. We're going to bucket list it one of these years. And we might start it this year. We're going to go to a bunch of NFL stadiums and see games. One of them for me is Green Bay. I want to see a football game in Green Bay on a Sunday in October. So, but that is definitely one town I want to visit. Almost had a chance to go 20-something years ago. I was playing softball out there, and we 2-and-Q'd, and I had nothing to do. Couldn't go home. Was stuck in Green Bay until Monday or Tuesday. My flight was paid for. I had no money to fly home, and we were gonna drive up on Sunday to Green Bay. We were in Wisconsin and we couldn't probably go to the game, but we wanted to tailgate and hang out in town, and maybe go to a bar and watch the game. But a buddy of ours decided to go home. We had to drive him to the airport. He got stuck in traffic, and I watched the NFL games at a dive bar in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Which was not a fun thing. So, Oh, that's the
Sticky
tradition.
off.
Matthew just said he just got off the phone with Trump. That's cool. See,
How about this? Is anybody fucking saying that they're going to make the pick soon? Because it's
yeah, it's
you know
8:08.
getting late.
The on the clock, it's 9 minutes and 51 seconds for the Tennessee Titans. They're just sitting around. The pick has been made. There's no doubt in my mind. But we're watching the Tennessee Titans. We're watching the Tennessee Titans war room, and we'll see what happens. I don't think it's any question who it is and why they make them wait 10 minutes for a draft pick. I know it's just been explained to me. It's TV. It's this. There's no drama here, folks. Let them
Takes you right out of the gate. As soon as they come out, introduce them.
Yeah.
What's the first pick? And then do 10 minutes of fucking waiting.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think this is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I could say as I looked further into the draft, and I look at the positioning of the draft, by number 3, I think that we're only going to have to wait about 13 seconds for the Giants to make up their minds, because they're going to blow this draft pick away anyway. They're going to take maybe the best guy that makes like Pop-Tarts or something for the team, whatever.
We don't talk about Pop-Tarts now. Bobby Kennedy said it's too much of the wrong dyes in it.
I'm just telling you that, because I think that some of the Giants picks have had too much dye in their food.
Hey, John, Frankie, how was WrestleMania? I heard there was a little bit of controversy. Cena wound up world champion again somehow, beating Cody Rhodes, I guess. I didn't watch any of it. I heard a bunch of the old timers got dragged out there. But Frankie, what'd you think of WrestleMania? Is it worth for me going back and watching it once it makes its way up onto Peacock? Yeah, now Frankie says it's not.
I will be back, man.
All right, go do your business, my man. So yeah, we're waiting on 8 minutes left of a pick that's already made, and we're waiting on the Tennessee Titans. Again, I don't think that the real drama starts until number 2. Then it's who do the Cleveland Browns take? Do they make a trade? It should be Travis Hunter. All indications that I've read, seen, all the inside sources, and I use inside sources. I have none. I just use everybody else's. I watched last year's. I thought last year's was actually pretty cool. I think your number 2 will be Travis Hunter, and number 3 will be Abdul Carter, and then it gets interesting from there. Or maybe not interesting. Maybe just it gets going, because at that point it's a lot of players. Most people don't know. Do people know Will Campbell or Will Johnson or Armand Membu or Jalen Walker or Ty Warren? I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows any of these people. We'll find out, but they're all solid. A lot of them are solid players, and we're going to get an idea. 7 minutes and counting on the Tennessee Titans pick. So stick around. We'll give you that one and get ready for Cleveland, who's warming up on deck right now. And Jeff and I will be with you as close to 9, a little after. Like I said, we're going to try to hang until 10. Until number 7. If we get to 9 o'clock and we're at number 3, I'm not sure we'll be here, but let's figure they started 10 after, right? So that should get them 5 picks by 9 o'clock. So I would think by 9:20 we should be done and over. The rumor was Houston trading up with Cleveland. I always am, Frankie. So I want you guys, if you hear the pick, let me know what it is, because I'm at 6:13 on the clock right now. Joe, Cleveland is chicken shit, and rightfully so, because they can't afford a bad pick here. Okay, now it's a solid, safe pick to take Travis Hunter, I think, or Abdul Carter, but they may be trying to stockpile picks and take the pressure off. If Houston traded up, Houston is in need of wide receiver help, offensive line help, linebacker help. So I'm guessing if they're trading up that high, it's to grab either Carter or Hunter. I don't think they'll go running back at that point. So like I said, anybody who has the pick, by all means, let me know, because again, my TV's probably behind it as every year. I'm always a couple seconds behind you guys.
I think and the computer is even worse.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, Frankie, if you get it, let me know. But we'll, like I said, should be behind. We should be on until 9:20, and that should be about the same time the Jets make their pick. If they stay at 10 minutes a pick,
it's in
at that point. Okay, the pick is in. My screen doesn't
right now. Mine doesn't say it's in.
Yeah, mine either. Mine now it just came in. It's in. So that's how far behind I am, Frankie.
And the computer is even further behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Right,
it still says
Frankie, Joe. So throw it out there when you get it. Again, should be Cam Ward. I'm shocked they had to wait 6 minutes for that.
And does the next team, do they go on the clock as soon as the pick is announced? Or
no? I think as soon as the pick is in, I think they're already on the clock.
Oh, okay.
So I don't see the clock moving yet, but I believe Cleveland's already on the clock.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Yeah, I mean, is there any chance, guys, that it's not Cam Ward? Is there any chance they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they need the quarterback. He's the best of, it's like being the tallest midget in the circus. Does it matter? He may be the tallest midget in the circus. We're going to find out, and hopefully in a second, we'll get the commissioner walking up to the podium with the pick. And then we'll see if Cleveland trades out with Houston. I'm sure the phone lines are going crazy right now. If you're the Giants, if you're Cleveland, if you're the Patriots, you got a bunch of people calling right now. And
if it's not Cam Ward, do the Giants try to trade with Cleveland?
No. If you're the Giants, you're happy with either one of those two guys. I would not make any trade, give up any resources to move up one spot. So no. Cam Ward, Frankie says it's Cam Ward. No, okay, the commissioner's walking out on my screen, so Frankie's 10, 15 seconds ahead. Joe, Bucky Brooks is a moron. If anybody thinks Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in this draft, or the best player in this draft, he's out of his mind.
Still says on the clock on my computer.
Yeah, Cam Ward has just been picked. He's dressed like a human being.
They're showing him?
Yeah, he's on the screen. He's actually dressed like just a normal human being. I mean, no shirt, no tie, but got a nice jacket with a white T-shirt. You see some of these guys come out now. They got the big gold chains and these crazy suits and stuff.
Yeah, but they run out, probably go get a loan before.
Yeah, well, there's a few guys dressed that way.
Yeah,
but Cam Ward's making his way to stage. He's going to get his hat and all that. Browns trade the pick. Frankie's thank God for Frankie because we're way behind to the Jags. Wow, that's very interesting. I wonder now if the Jags are going to take a running back in this spot. That would really throw this off a bit. If they were to trade up to grab Gentry ahead of, they're moving from 5 up to 2. Who would they be jumping? That's interesting now. So now they're not going to go running back. I had them taking corner. They're not trading up to get a corner. Well, they could be. They're trading to get a corner. Could be Travis Hunter. I think they're taking Gentry. Frank, are you guessing? I think they're trading up. I think they needed a corner, and they were trading up because I think you could have got Gentry at 5, unless you're afraid of somebody else jumping. Now the question becomes: if they do take Gentry, do the Giants go Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter? That's now interesting. The Giants have it interesting at this point. Wow. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the Giants trade.
By the way, it has been announced that the Jaguars have the next pick, so it is officially on the screen. Oh, you're guessing? Okay. I think it's to grab Travis Hunter.
They're already 7 minutes 40 seconds away from announcing their pick.
Yeah, I think here they needed a corner. They needed help defensively bad, and I think they did this to trade up to get Travis Hunter at number 2. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense because the Giants weren't taking a running back. Neither were the Patriots. All right. So to me, they were going to get him there unless you were afraid somebody was going to pop it ahead of you. I don't think you're trading up. I think it was trading up. They wanted Travis Hunter. So we'll see. You don't think
that they would be trying to get Shedeur Sanders?
No. They got no. So the Jaguars get the 2nd overall pick, a 4th round pick, a 6th round pick. They just went off the screen. So They have 5 minutes and change left. We'll see what they do. I think it's to get Travis Hunter. It's the only thing that makes any sense. So now Genti probably drops. Yeah, I think that's the normal. So I think now Genti could go to the Raiders. If he slides past the Raiders, Genti could drop to the Saints. He could drop as far as maybe the Cowboys. Matt might be happy. I don't know. Matt early on was looking for Genti to be a Cowboy. That would be interesting to me. But yeah, I think I had the Patriots taking Will Johnson at 5 because that was right.
6 minutes, 12 seconds into the Jags.
Yeah, Frankie, I don't know about the Bears. I think they need the Bears. I have their bigger needs being offensive line help, defensive end, and safety. I don't see them taking it back. I think the Bears probably would go offensive line. There's too much help, and they need to help themselves there. 4 minutes and change left on the Jaguars' time. I think it's to get Travis Hunter. I think they needed help in the secondary, and then I think the Giants take Carter, and I think they stay. The pick is right, just wrong team.
5 minutes, 32 seconds till the pick is announced.
Yeah, I think you're behind. I got 3 minutes and change, and I'm sure Frankie's even
Really?
close. Yeah, I'm 3 minutes 49 seconds right this second.
Wow.
So you're far behind. I'm already behind. So we'll wait. Thank God for Catalina. I think Genti at 2 to give Lawrence help. Yeah, Joe, it makes sense, but then I would say, why would you trade up that high to get him? Because to me, nobody was taking him before 5 unless they smelled somebody else trading up to get him. And again, I know they wanted to replace Travis Etienne. I get all of that. But I don't see moving up from him. I think it's going to be Hunter. I think they need the corner. But the pick is in. We're waiting for the commissioner to get up top. You got Jeff. You got Tom. I see Joe Cloak. I see Frank Catalano. There's a bunch of people hanging in there with us tonight. So I was expecting Frank Jeffrey to pop up. He hasn't done it yet. But in the meantime, we'll break it down at least the first 7 picks, and then next Thursday night we'll spend a good part of our show talking about the NFL draft, who the Jets took, who the Giants took, who everybody took.
Pick is in.
Pick is in. I got it too. We're still waiting for the commission to come up on stage. So Jeff, how was the gig last week? Jeff, it was great to see you at the party, but you went to go to the gig. How was the gig at was that Rockies, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
What else is what's coming up next?
This Saturday, a place called Frenchie's in New Jersey.
Well, you guys are venturing farther and farther. Pretty sure it'll be Pennsylvania and Maryland.
I don't know about that.
But all right, so we're still waiting on the pick to make its way to the stage. I'm gonna guess right now, Jeff, that it's still Travis Hunter. Do you think they moved up like Joey thinks, or for the running back?
Who knows, man? Who knows? I know they're not too happy with ATN, right?
Yeah, no, he has not lived up to the billing. I don't know if it's the injury. He never kind of recovered. He has not been the same player that he was in college. So they may be looking to get another weapon for Lawrence. I do not think they will take a running back here. This doesn't make any sense to me. I think, like I said, I had them picking a corner. Just I got the wrong one because they're trading up to get Travis Hunter. Which again, Cleveland they picked up some picks, and it gets them out of that spot where the glare is on them for what they're picking. There's a big difference, Jeff, picking top 5 than let's say picking at 15, 16. Most people couldn't identify the 15th pick in last year's draft, but most people know who goes in the top 5. Most people, if you're a football fan, all right, here's the pick is in.
I'm gonna find out right now.
Wait a second. Oh my God! I have to stop with this. Bringing in the represent somebody to make the pick for the team. It's like he takes a minute to introduce the guy, and then the guy comes on and goes, "Oh, Jaguar Nation!"
Yeah, the retarded kid from down the street from the stadium or something, right?
Yeah. No, this is actually I don't know if he's a former player, current player. So it's Eric Armstead from the Jaguars is going to be. He's the 2024 NFL man, Walter Payton Man of the Year. So here comes the pick. Just make the pick, numbnuts. You want to go in there and poke him in the eye with a pen.
Slow down there, Sonny.
Holy cow, just make the pick.
That's how it's done here.
Oh, my God. Now he's got to make a speech.
Wow.
Numbnuts, make the pick. Oh, my God. This guy's got to give a speech. I mean, what are we doing?
It's his moment to shine, man.
Little Joey Callahan that lives next to Mode Music is coming out, Jeff. Wow. All right. So it's they got way behind because I wish I would have known, Frank. I shut this guy off a little while. So it's Travis Hunter. I was right. I had a feeling that they were just trading up to get the best corner that they needed. So 2 for 2 in picks, even though the wrong team picked them. I am 2 for 2 so far. I will be 3 for 3. The Giants will take out. Yeah, it's Travis Hunter, Colorado. Again, in his lime pink suit. And now he's dancing. Just get on stage, moron. Thank God you're not a Giant. Thank God. What the hell? Can't guys just come out in a normal suit, mush mouth? You know, Frank, you're 100% right. Now I can root against Travis Hunter for his entire career. You know, it will not bother me when he blows out his Achilles next year and then an ACL the year after.
So now the Giants are on there.
Yeah, here it is. Moment of truth. It's Abdul Carter for me. I don't see him going any other way. Could there be a trade? It's possible. The Giants are on the clock. Man, it takes about 3 hours for him to get to the stage. Holy cow. He's going. He can't be happy going to Jacksonville, though. I know you're a top pick and all that, but you can't tell me he's happy going to Jacksonville.
Who would ever want to go to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, who would want to? I mean, Jacksonville's a shithole. Let's be honest. I love Florida, and I've gone to Jacksonville. Stadium is beautiful, but it's a shithole. I don't think they're going to take Sanders. But what the chances of Giants taking now? No, zero, absolutely zero in this pick. Joe, is there a chance at the end of the first round they trade back up or take him in the second round? It's possible. They're going to take a quarterback.
Part of me is hoping that they rush through and just take Sanders. I hope they take Shador.
I will tell you this. If they pick Sanders, there'll be a mysterious blackout on this show in about 30 seconds. So just for the record, if the show goes over,
I'll finish that on Facebook Live. You only got to worry about that.
We will mysteriously be off the air if Giants take Shador Sanders here. But no, I don't believe they will. I think, Joe, there is a small chance that if he's there late first round or at their pick at number second round, which they have the second pick of a second round, there is a chance they could take him. They're going to take a quarterback with that pick, I believe, if one's available. Now, if Sanders and Dart are gone, will they take Milroe or Shao? It's possible. I believe that pick will be a quarterback.
Oh, all right. I just got a breaking text.
Go ahead.
One of my sources told me that the Giants are going to trade back in the draft with, you ready for this?
Go ahead.
With the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know what? That would not shock me.
Then they took the 21st pick and retraded it back to the Steelers for the first rounder in 26, 27, and 28 to go back to their original spot.
Here we go.
3.
Here we go. Listen. Don't worry about my team. You worry about what your team.
I am worried about your team because they suck.
They won't suck no more.
Pick is in. Their Giants pick is in according to the phone. So let's see what happens.
Just says the Giants are on the clock on my screen.
On mine, it says the pick is in.
Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time. Universe Galaxy. Okay. Why Universe Galaxy? Thank you. Why is that? Why is Michael Jordan fans the worst fans of all time? And what does that have to do with what the NFL draft?
It's in. I told you it's in.
Yeah. Now it seems like Jeff's ahead.
He's a Knicks fan.
Giant pick is in. Again, to me, this is no doubter. This is going to be Abdul Carter. The Giants get the pass rusher. They will go back to the old school, that won 2 Super Bowls for them. Throw the pass rush at people and beat the crap out of all the other team's quarterbacks.
Please let this be fucking Shedeur Sanders, please.
Oh my God! I swear to God, there's gonna be an all sort of power loss in the Florio house. I can tell you right now. The Eagles are trying to trade up for what? Why would the Eagles need to trade up here? That makes no sense to me. I mean, obviously to get another player, but
Frankie, you're the mole, man. We'll find out who the Giants got. Come on, get in there. Let's go.
That's a nice stat. Giants are the only team to have 2 rookies with 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year. Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy. So that's bodes well. But I don't understand.
Well, that's why they need Sanders.
Yeah, no. That's Abdul. That's why they got to play defense. Dexter Lawrence led the team with 9 sacks, missed 5 games. Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody telling me about the Giants taking Shedeur Sanders. While I don't love the Giants quarterback room, I like it less. And I definitely don't want to hear Jeff for the next 6 months laughing at me every week.
You won't.
Well, Giants are celebrating already. They're already shaking hands. They're hugging each other. So they obviously got the pick they wanted. Dable's very happy. I think if I'm hoping he's getting his Penn State jersey out. Here it comes.
It's Abdul Carter. Tom.
Yes.
It's official.
It's official. Abdul, baby.
But you know what? The last defensive lineman that they took has done nothing.
No, I agree. Kayvon Thibodeau has been suspect at best. He's had some moments, but not enough of them. But I think if you put Carter out there, you got Brian Burns, you got Dexter Lawrence. Okay, Abdul Carter looks like he's dressed for a Black Panther reunion.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God.
There you go. Good thing you got him.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope he's got his Trump hat in the car. Oh boy. But again, this is the guy I wanted. He's a high energy guy, good with his hand on the ground. This is Frank, you were going to say the same thing. Look, he went to a Black Panther party, as Forrest Gump would say. Yeah, he looks like he was right into the Black Panthers party, but that's okay. So again, 3 for 3 on my picks. Abdul Carter to the Giants. The Patriots are on the clock. I have them taking a offensive tackle, Will Campbell. No, he did not. Don't even kid with me, Frankie, please. Please, Frankie, my heart's in my socks. So, Jeff, no Shedeur Sanders. We've gotten through 3 picks. Next chance, there's been so many rumors of him going to the Jets. That, to me, is a fallacy. The Raiders are a possibility. They need a quarterback.
But Shedeur Sanders going to the Jets?
Yes, that was a big rumor for a long time.
I can see that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they have more pressing needs, and I think, obviously, they have some faith in Justin Fields. Who's backing up right now for the Jets? Who's their backup quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor.
Okay. All right. So, to me, I think they're set for this year, maybe for 2 years.
I listen. I said, why not fucking build around fucking Justin Fields?
I agree. Honestly, no. Again, if you use him properly, if you don't force him to throw 40 times a game, or force him to throw every time he has to throw the ball, I think he'll be fine. I think he's a good runner. With the 2 guys they have his backs, won't be the focal point of the offense, and they play defense. I think he could be successful. He's not leading the league. And
the pick is in for the New England Patriots.
Yeah. Again, I think it's Will Campbell, the offensive tackle for LSU. That would be my thought process here. I think they're going to firm up that offensive line for Drake May, and build it. So the pick is in. We'll see. But all those guys who thought he was going, Shedeur Sanders was going to the Giants, go F yourselves. There was a whole bunch of them today. But yeah, Frankie, I think it's okay to give him a shot. I do. I believe that. Justin Fields.
I'm gonna laugh when Abdul Carter says next week that he has a Lisfranc injury.
Yeah, listen, it would not surprise me at this point, but they say he's healthy. He's also had some shoulder issues. So, it's one of those things. The Giants had a chance to draft Micah Parsons a few years ago, and instead they drafted Kadarius Toney. And they were so afraid of his off the field stuff and some injury stuff that they blew it. Okay, listen, I think Micah Parsons a little overblown, but he's still a great player. They weren't going to miss on Abdul Carter, and I think Carter could actually be better than Micah Parsons. So we'll see. We're still waiting right now. Right now on the clock is the New England Patriots. Then we have Cleveland, the Raiders.
Oh, hold that spot for me, man. Oh, God.
Colin it's funny. Somebody put up a meme and said that Colin Kaepernick is still working out, getting ready to play for a team. That'll be a running joke till he's 100. What Frank Jeffrey texted you? What did he say? He hasn't texted me. I invited him to come on. He did not even answer me. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't hear from Frankie. Maybe he's texting me right now. Hold on. All right, let's see. And do we get a Frank Jeffrey sighting? I think we got a Frank Jeffrey sighting. Frankie says, sorry, guys, I've been sick. Past few days, Louis just turned it on to see the Giants. I love that pick. It's smart move. Feel better. All right, we're on a commercial break. We're waiting on the Patriots. He just texted me same thing, Frank. We're waiting on the Patriots now. I got Will Campbell going here, followed up by now would be the Browns, who will probably. That's a good question. Will they trade back further? So to me, at that point, they can go anywhere at this point. I think it's going to be offensive line now for the Browns. Oh, he got him one of those diamond, whatever. You know what? It's too much nil money. I don't know if anybody saw it. If you guys are college game day fans, Lee Corso is going to retire. I believe he's going to do one game on August 30th. I'm a big fan of Corso. I think he was a fun listen, and he was actually knowledgeable. I would watch college game day just to see what football had he put on every week. If I could watch the whole show, I would watch it sometimes. I would DVR the last hour because at the last 5 minutes he would do it. And I always thought that was a great little thing. 460 times, I believe he did it. So if any of you guys are college football fans, watch College Game Day on Saturdays, which I do. I don't like Pat McAfee. I think he's overboard and a moron. But I always loved watching Lee Corso. I'm not a fan of Herb Street. Ever since he cried when the George Floyd riots, he cried like the pussy he is. So, but I probably won't watch College Game Day ever again. I only watched for Corso in that. He actually played at Florida State with Burt Reynolds. So that's an interesting little fun fact. So if you're a college football fan and a College Game Day fan, last game for Lee Corso will be on August 30th. He may be good on wrestling. I just don't find him. He's too sticky. It's too much. Just talk. To have a conversation. You're an NFL punter. You had some moments. But he's too sticky for me. It gets annoying after a while. I'm sure with the wrestling, he's fine. I've never seen him on the wrestling, so I couldn't tell you. We are in commercial break, Jeff. Waiting on.
This is too much time in between this, man.
Yeah, well, it's 10 minutes. So right now the pick is in, but it's moved on faster. We've already gotten to the fourth pick, and we are a little ahead of schedule right now. So we should be able to get to the Jets we'll definitely get to the Jets before the show's over. Like I said, we'll be back next week. We'll break down the entire draft. I got a lot of other stories that we didn't get to this week. And of course, how are they, Frankie, Joe? How were your Easters? Everybody enjoy themselves. A lot of family, I hope. We're seeing the Patriots. War. Here comes the commissioner. Again, I'm going offensive tackle. I got it. Will Campbell of LSU. We'll see what the Patriots do here in the Mike Vrabel era.
Will Campbell.
There I am, 4 for 4, baby. 4 for 4.
That is Will Campbell.
I want to show you my my draft to show you that I should be doing this for a living. Just saying, Jeff.
Oh, boy.
There I am, 4 for 4. Now, I'm going to lose here because I had the Jaguars taking Will Johnson. I don't think the Browns will here. I think the Browns will go offensive line here. They may even steal the Jets guy right here, Membo. So that's interesting. Now, again, there's still some other good players out there, but I am 4 for 4 at this point. So just for the record, if there was no trade, I have a possibility of going 5 for 5. I do not believe Will Johnson will go here for the Browns. I think it's going to be an offensive tackle.
It could be Sanders too.
It could. I think that it's a little more likely, but I don't believe Sanders goes. I think he continues to fall. I think that'll be something that
we do not know. We will find out.
Yep. So interesting. So, like I said, not very exciting, Jeff. A little bit of a trade, but the placement of players has not changed. I think it does right here. Cleveland. I think Cleveland right now goes offensive tackle. I think they get a solid player, and they picked up some draft capital. I think the Jaguars did a nice job getting the best player at the position that they needed most. I said from the beginning they were drafting a corner. They got probably the best corner in the draft. That is my pick. I have Gentry going to the Raiders. I agree, Frankie. I think that's where he goes. You guys are going to play him twice a year for the next 10 years. Yeah, and then the Jets. It depends. The Jets are going tackle. Now it's a matter of which one. I have Membo. It could be one of the guys from Texas. The guy from Texas. We'll see. But this is an interesting pick coming up right now for the Browns. Doesn't show me pick is in yet. They're still talking to Will Campbell.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this kid, Gentry, 374 carries, 2,600 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdowns.
Jeff, if you get 5 minutes at some point between now and next week, do me a favor and watch his highlight tape. He's just a battering ram. He's the
one picture I seen of him, man. I don't want to fucking see him running to me.
You know, the kid from the kid Will Campbell's crying on stage. I can't really hear what he's talking about, but Frankie's calling him a crybaby. Again, the
baby's crying because he's on New England. I wouldn't want to go there.
Well, he said 10 years early I could have played with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but
he could be happy about something else, Tom.
But not playing for the Giants,
not playing for the Broncos.
That's very true. Big white kid crying. That's exactly it.
And not playing. Maybe he's crying because he didn't get picked by the Jets. I don't know. Maybe he don't want to go to the Giants, and he's happy.
Yeah,
tears of joy.
Tears of joy. Yeah. All right, the Cleveland Browns pick is in. I'm going to tell you that it's a corner. An offensive tackle. That's my thought. It's going to throw my draft off a little bit here, but just for the record, I work full time building buildings in the city. I don't do mock drafts. I don't do scouting for a living, and I am 4 for 4. I am as good as any of those mock drafters, bullshit guys out there. Jeff, I am the real deal.
Well, Tom, if I sat home today and read a bunch of fucking mock drafts, I would take the ones that all, like most people pick this, most people pick that.
Go look and see how many people have 4 for 4 in this draft. I guarantee you there ain't many.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
A little pat on the back is not the worst thing, Jeff. A little pat on the back here is not the worst thing.
Listen, I understand that, but I just can't give it to you, man. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
All right.
I just can't do it.
All right. So right now, top available on Myers is Genty and Graham from Michigan, the defensive tackle. Jalen Walker, who I have going later in the draft. I think I got Walker going to the Panthers. They need help at linebacker. He might be the best linebacker in the draft. Membo there is, I think it's tackle. We'll see. But can you play Madden? I play Madden very well. As a matter of fact, Frankie, my Browns picked Graham. Okay, so they went defensive tackle from Michigan. That's an interesting one. It's a good, solid pick. He's a good player. I would tell you that
that's a big boy, 6'4", 296 from Michigan.
Yeah, he's a good player. Definitely worthy of a pick.
Now that was the 5th pick.
That's the 5th pick in the draft. So with 2 from the Jets. It is 8:44, so we should get the Jets in by 9 o'clock. So that way we can. I can definitely use a good night's sleep. I have DVR'd the draft, so I'll catch the first round to the morning, but I will stay up as late as I can. But I've had a couple late nights. Mason Graham, Michigan. Again, good, big body, Jeff. Will be a big help on that Browns team. They're just looking to do this kind of same thing the Giants have. They've got some good defensive linemen there, and they're going to get better, and they're going to put some pressure on people. So it's a good job. My guy doesn't look like he's crying. He ain't cried yet, Joe. A couple white guys in a row. That's pretty wild, Jeff, in the first round of the NFL draft.
Yeah, I'd say.
And they ain't quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So who else do the Raiders need? Well, the Raiders need a quarterback. They need a corner, and they need a running back. So the best available player is Genty. So I can't imagine that they don't take Genty right here. Okay? I can't imagine it.
Well, we're about to find out. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I can't imagine they don't take Genty here. Yeah, it would be shocking if they take a quarterback. The quarterback room has fallen off. So you could take Will Johnson, but I think if things stay there and then Jets take Membo, I think that it's falling in line for not only my picks but for the Jets. I think the Jets will get better immediately. They have an opportunity later to grab a receiver in the second round. They have an opportunity to get better there. They can even get a future possible franchise quarterback in the second round. Yeah, the Jets, I could see them taking a kicker. We're not shocked. They probably draft Pat McAfee.
Yeah, who the fuck knows what they're going to do?
But yeah, so I would say right now the Raiders are on the clock. Yeah, it's Genty. I can't imagine he slips past this. If he slips past here, he winds up, boy, he could go to the Saints at that point. Interesting. So, no, I'm waiting on it. I think they're still on the clock, right? They have not put the on TV, they have not put the Raiders on the clock yet.
They haven't?
No, it still says selection. They're still showing the Mason Graham pick. But they have the Raiders up next. They just haven't put the clock up yet. So I like the fact that they are moving faster. Genty to the Raiders is a guarantee, Joe. I would be shocked. Absolutely shocked. Oh, the Raiders aren't taking a kicker. Raiders are at least smarter than that. Although their owner has the worst haircut in the history of haircuts. You ever see Mark Davis's haircut, Jeff?
No, I have not, but
Google Mark Davis right now. It's worth 10 seconds.
M-A-R or M-A-R-C, M-A-R-K?
I would just put Mark. I don't know. I think it's K, but I would do Mark Davis Raiders.
No.
I would do Mark Davis Raiders, and just check out the haircut. It's worth it.
My God,
you seen it
for real?
Yes, that is for real.
Looks like a fat carrot top.
It is.
What is he got? Bangs?
He looks like Jim Carrey's character in Dumb and Dumber.
He looks like something, all right.
Yeah, he is the ugliest. Yeah.
My God, what the fuck is that?
Joe Close to
Butt birth. Pick
He-
is in.
That guy is a rich dude. Why he settled for that haircut, I have no idea. But the pick is in.
There's no upkeep. That's why.
Yeah, I guess so.
The pick is in. The Raiders pick is in.
Yes, it is. Again, I can't imagine it's anything else but Genty. It makes total sense for their team.
Yep.
It gives
Genty.
them. Oh, okay. So,
Genty.
so it's Genty. I am 5 of 6 in the first round. Just for the record, if anybody's keeping track. Next up, sorry, Frank. I know that's who you wanted. I'm telling you, Frank, there's some good backs. And if you get on the phone, call your GM, tell him to call the Jets and get Breece Hall. It'll make the Jets worse and you better. I'm telling you, that's the move.
Breece Hall is going to lead the league in rushing this year for the
Only
Jets.
on your Madden team that you overplay him.
Overplay him.
Yes, you overplay him. Yes.
I don't have to overplay him. Remember the move that he made on you?
Oh,
he left 2 of you guys. They still didn't come back to the huddle yet.
Please. Ashton Genty from Boise State. I don't think he's a big guy. I think he's monstrous in
Dude,
size, but he's short.
5'9".
Yeah.
5'9", and like I forget what the weight was. 5'9", 215.
Yeah, he's solid.
He looks like a black girl named LaQuanda with that head that he's got.
But he's got a low center of gravity. Yeah, he's a heck of a back. He just made the Raiders better.
Just in, the Jets have asked for more time for their pick.
The half man is why yesterday was the half man's birthday. 1 week, just about 1 week after he passed away. Yesterday would have been the half man's birthday. And Frank Catalan, good job by you. I couldn't bring myself to wish him a happy birthday on his Facebook page. I couldn't do it. So
listen, let me tell you something about the half man. Okay,
he'd be thrilled with this one
right now. Wherever he is watching the draft, he's pissed that he cannot vocalize how much he likes this pick.
Yes, he'd have every stat in the world. Let me ask you, wherever he is right now watching this, does he have the Raider helmet on?
Well, I think he's got a helmet on. All right. I think on each side of the helmet is a big cup of gin with ice.
So Raider Nation seems to be very happy on TV. They got their player. Again, they got a good one. And he may be the most solid.
Well, actually, what is that? Frank just said he reads Facebook, or is it that the Jets pick fullback? So you gotta be careful what you're saying.
Yeah. Again, I got the Jets taking Armand Membo for the tackle from Missouri with this pick, and then the Panthers are up. I certainly
hope that they take somebody good, man. It may not be the greatest pick in the world to take an offensive lineman, but when you need help and you could get somebody now, and then you can have, bookend tackles for the next 10 years. And you got Elijah Tucker, who's only a few years in. Pittman, which this would be his second or third year.
Yeah.
So that line comes together. You can have a great offensive line for, my God, the next 10 to 12 years.
I would agree. You almost don't care who plays quarterback at this point. You know what?
I can play quarterback.
I agree. Frankie, your Mets, what I really love about the Mets right now is the pitching. Now, there was a lot of suspect things. I know that the Met Lab and all that, they're just pitching really well. The hitting hasn't been great. I mean, Alonso's been really good. Lindor's been okay. Jets pick is in. I like the fact that they're pitching really well, actually playing decent defense. I love the way Soto, even though he's not hitting really well, is playing good defense. So, yeah, listen, they deserve to be where they're at. And I think if they stay healthy, they may run away with that division early. It's very possible. The A's are starting to pick up some steam, but, they just ran through the Phillies. Here comes the Jet pick is in. We're waiting for the commissioner to come to stage. I don't know if they're going to commercial right now. Yep, they're going to commercial, so we're going to have to wait 2 minutes or better for the Jets pick. Yeah, again, Frank, he's not hitting the way he should be hitting yet. I need to see it for a couple of weeks. Then I'll say he's broken out. Genty has a Ryan Clark lapel. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I know what that means. But how you feeling, Jeff? You got bubbling and churning going on in there?
And it has subsided slightly.
Okay.
Not much, man. It's
I would
still
tell you,
dangerous times.
I can't remember the last time I had White Castles.
Oh, you're probably better off.
Yeah, it's been. I just for the first time today. I won't say cheated on my diet because I had a really good day, but I had sliders for dinner. My wife and I jumped out when we got about to eat. I was a little late getting back, and we went to go to a local establishment. I had a couple of cheeseburger sliders, which I haven't had in forever. I've been eating the first bit of bread I've had in about a month. But it was nice to go out and have that. But I will not partake of the White Castle for a few more months.
Don't. Even when you can, don't.
Listen, everybody, you know how it works. You got to have a White Castle every once in a while, and then you can regret it and say, I'll never do it again. So it's been a long time. I would tell you it's got to be years. I mean, years since I've had a White Castle.
And you're better off for it. You're better off for it.
Well, I can't argue that. You know, my scale is very happy about it. That's for sure. Although I have
your scale, your little brown tutor is a lot more happy about it than you realize.
I like the White Castle fries. I do. I like the burgers are okay. They're good. They're really good. But I do enjoy some of the other stuff there.
How many burgers do you eat from White Castle when you get them?
If I was going to White Castle, it would be 6.
Well, I ate 8.
Oof.
Okay. I used to go for more than that. I used to go for 10 plus.
Oh, really?
All right. Then I cut back and I was at 8, and then I used to get 6.
Yeah, 6 is my
I was the big man, and I went for 8.
Oh, yeah. I am. It's like this. If I'm hungry, it's 6. If I'm not hungry, I could do 4. I've never done. I don't think since I was a kid, when we used to go buy cases and this and that of them. The Crave case. I would say then maybe I could have polished off 10, 12 of them and not thought much about it. Maybe exploded the next day.
God.
But no. Nowadays, if I was going there, I would order 6.
10 is your record, Frank?
Yeah, that's
10 singles, 10 doubles. What? Clam strips. If you really want to get a little extra.
Oh, clam strips! Oh my god!
Put some clam strips in there, or the onion rings.
What I have had a craving for, and it's been a while, is hot dogs. I've been craving the Nathan's hot dog. I haven't had one in a while. I had one last year, maybe September, October. I was up in Yonkers, and they had a Nathan's hot dog place in Yonkers, right down the street from where I was working. And on my way home one day, I stopped. I think, in fact, it was in November because I was getting ready to leave for Florida, and I got myself 2 hot dogs with chili.
Oh my God! What a
Frank. Joey. I've been on a diet for a while now. In fact, I am down to the lowest weight I've been in over 20 years. So for me, I've lost close to 70 pounds at this point.
How much did you lose?
70 pounds. I think 71 right now.
What do you weigh?
Right now, 246, 245.
You were up to over 300?
I was 310, 315 almost. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, okay. The Jets got him.
Yep. Man, I am on fire today. I am on fire today.
I'm liking this.
This is a good pick. One of the best linemen in this draft. He's a better than solid pick who I think could play either tackle, but will probably play right tackle in this draft. Good for him.
6'3", 314 pounds. A little on the light side.
No, I think you got the wrong numbers. I see it on the screen. They have him at 6'4", 332.
Well, I'm looking on ESPN. They just clocked him at 6'3", 314.
Let me see. I got my official sheet here. There's my official sheet.
Definitely a smart pick for the Jets.
Corners, safeties. Where's my corner? Where's my tackle sheet? Corners, wide receivers. It's got to be in here somewhere. There it is. Membo, 6'4", 332. That is official.
All right, that's a big boy. That's what you want.
Yep. I am now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 perfect picks in this draft. Just for the record, 6 out of 7, and that's a great pick for them, Jeff.
Uh,
Let's hang in there one more pick. We'll do the Panthers at number 8, and then we'll call it a night for the show. I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening. It's been a lot of fun doing this with you guys. Hey, there's a mixed kid in the crowd. Like, he likes the white woman. Do you think the Titans? Yeah, Frankie, I do. I do think that one of those guys could fall that far. There's so many good receivers still in this draft. I mean, nobody's taken a receiver yet. There's still a lot of good offensive linemen in this draft. So, yeah, I do think that Warren or the kid from Michigan, I can't think of his name at the moment, can fall down there. So, yeah, I have Warren going to, let's see, I know I have Warren going to the Saints. After that, I don't know if the other kid could fall. But, yeah, I can see either one of these guys winding up down your way. But, yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. So, let's see what the Panthers do here at 8. Then we'll wrap it up for the night. And we'll, like I said, next Thursday night, we'll go through the entire first round of the draft. Probably just, kind of grade the Giants, Jets, some of the other teams. We'll see where Shedeur Sanders. There's not even a talk about him at this point. You'll hear if you guys stay with the draft, you'll hear his name mentioned. With the that's it. With the Saints, if it gets past the Saints, the next stop for the Shedeur Sanders train will be at the Steelers, which is quite a ways down the road, which will probably be late in the night, and I will be catching it in the morning. If it goes after that, we'll see if the Giants jump in. If anybody trades up back or otherwise, there's still a lot of good players to be gotten. There's still some good offensive linemen. There's all the good receivers are available. Two great tight ends. This is a good first round. Again, it's just not carrying the juice, Jeff, that most people want. No quarterbacks. Last year we had 6 quarterbacks already.
Yeah, well, it was a different situation. I got hold on. I got a meeting. Oh, this is rough, man. We're getting to the dark part of the night.
Yes, we're getting to the dark part of the night. Frank, what's good is, you guys can get a receiver. I think one of the top 3 or 4 receivers could still be there. The tight ends could be there. So, I think you can get some help here. Matt, just for the record, I am 6 out of 7 with my picks, just for the record. Membu's a good pick here. I think that solidifies the Jets. Joe, I don't think the Saints take Dart. I think if you like them, take them. They do need a quarterback. I think that would be the one shocking thing in the draft for people. Now, I think Dart is a better quarterback physically than Sanders. Now, he hasn't played in really great competition. I think he's got a lot of. I think he's mobile enough. I think he's got a good enough arm. But I think again the processing part bothers me. I don't think he's as quick on things as I'd like to see him. I think he's a bit of a project. If you can bench him for a year or so, I think in the right system he's fine. I like this. Like I said, I agree, Matt. I think that I do believe that the Saints could. I have the Saints taking Ty Warren. I think they need some help in the Saints secondary. I'm not sure at this point. I don't know, but I know they haven't needed corner, they haven't needed at edge, and they haven't needed running back. But I also think they need a tight end, and I think they may take him here. I like Jalen Walker to the Panthers. I think they need a linebacker. I think that's their biggest need. He's the best linebacker I think in this draft. And he might be the best player available right now. So I think I'm waiting on the Panthers and Jalen Walker. Let's see what happens here. I think Gentry to the Raiders was a no-brainer. I think Membu to the Jets was a no-brainer. So we'll see if Jalen Walker goes, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll give Jeff a chance to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. And
to the Super Bowl about 8 times.
Well,
unfortunately, it was just a fireworks show.
Matt was complimenting you on the Membo pick.
Yes. I think it's a good pick. I thank it. I thank you. And I mean, something will happen. He'll end up ballooning up to 450 pounds. He has a wooden leg. He has the IQ of a squirrel. Something bad will happen. Don't you worry.
Panthers pick is in. We'll do this one and we'll wrap it up here. So I'll go watch the draft for a little while inside. The commissioner's coming out on stage, so we're a minute away from the pick. I'm sure Carolina picked What's McMillan. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's a good pick for them. All right, so I did not get that one right. They did. That was one of their needs, so good for them. And again, Frank, it's good for you. Tight ends are dropping. I think it's interesting right here what the Saints will do. His favorite food is White Castle, Jeff. It's not Jeff's right now, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up right here. I appreciate you guys sticking with us as your preferred NFL draft site. And we'll be back next week. Maybe Matt will join us to break down the NFL draft. But I can't seem to get him to commit to be on the show. He's a busy man. Maybe Frank Jeff, you'll feel better. He'll pop up. But I hope you guys will all come back. We'll break down the NFL draft. And we'll I think the NFL season kicks in tonight. So we'll get into a lot of NFL talk next week. But, Jeff, it's been fun. We've done this now for 8, 9, 10 years. I will keep the diet going, Joe. 70 pounds. I'm shooting for 90. I'm
Good
going
for you,
for 90
Tom.
pounds.
Oh, boy. I'm shooting for another trip to the fucking shitter, man.
All right, go ahead, Jeff. Go do your thing.
Oh,
but I appreciate everybody listening, checking in. I hope your teams do well, Frankie. I will be rooting for your Broncos. And Matt, I think Matt, you're going to wind up with a receiver. You could wind up with a couple of spots here. I we'll see. But guys, listen, enjoy your night. Thank you very much for tuning into the Hard Rock and Sports Show. We'll be back next Thursday night when we do this all over again. So for Jeff Telwinski, myself, and everybody in Hard Rock and Sports, I say have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week, a great weekend, and a great next week. Enjoy the weather, and good luck to all you guys and your teams in the NFL draft. Jeff, I will talk to you off the air.
you got it, man.
Good night, everybody.
Later.